Hello everybody, it's Amy, also known as Aussie Stitcher in Texas, here on Flosstube and over on Instagram. I'm here with you today on Friday, March 1st with a Flosstube update. This is update number 22. So hello to all of my returning subscribers and viewers. Thank you so much for joining me. And if you're checking me out for the first time, welcome. I hope you like what you see here. So for the month of February, I worked on 6 projects, not a whole lot for me. I did have a work trip that took me out for the better part of a week. So that was a week of absolutely no stitching for me. As I did with my last work trip, I brought something with me, but did not touch it once. I just didn't have the time. So my total stitches this month were 11,180. So like I said, on the lower end for me, but still a very good number overall. I got some great progress into the pieces that I needed to get progress into, which is what's important most of all. I did have one new start, no finishes this month, and a little bit of haul. So we'll be here in not too long of an episode, I think, today. I'm filming this on my lunch break from work, so let's hope no one bugs me in the meantime. But let's jump into it. I'm going to start, I've got my stuff in a pile over here. It's not in any particular order, so we're just going to pull from what's on top. So one of the projects I worked on this month, which was my new start for the month of January, my New Year new start actually, is Hyperborea by Owl Forest Embroidery. I purchased the kit, so here is the little box it comes in with the cover photo. I worked on this for a couple of days and got just over 2,000 stitches in. Here is what it looks like the last time that you saw this. I am doing this on using all the kit materials. It's a 32 count Murano in a blue color. I don't think they give you the name, but it is a 32 count even weave. So here's where we're at now. So I have almost a whole owl. So this is, what was it, my Q snap. So that's why I couldn't get to the other wing. But I've done this down here. I've done these little things, this all up here. So a great amount of progress. These threads, because this is the kit, so I'm using the Owl Forest threads. I don't know what they are, but they feel like silk and they run through the material like silk. It's amazing. Absolutely beautiful and variegated, as you can see here. So very much one stitch at a time, but it is so pretty. I'm so happy with that. And it is a big kind of wide piece, so it should take up the majority of this, but very proud. I've reached the top and the bottom, so I know I've got good margins on both sides. I did start in the middle rather than my usual. I do like to do a top left start, but because of the fabric, and I really wanted to make sure I got this in the right spot, because if I didn't, that would have been very annoying. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to put things away as I go and then get them out of my way. Next up is one of my monthly pieces. It is my full coverage Heaven and Earth Designs by Josephine wall called Alternative Reality. Here's the picture. If you're a regular viewer, you see this every month because I do work on this every month. So I got just over 2,007 stitches in for this. Here is what it looks like the last time that you saw it. This one takes a little bit of wrangling from me. I am doing this on a 18 count Aida, 2/1. Just trying to organize all the hanging threads in the Royal Rose method. So I'm going to come back. So here is where we are. I am going like typewriter style. So from one side to the next and then coming back. And I am on like the 6th set of rows. I've done two rows of 2 and now on this 3rd one. And I realized, I mean, this is just absolutely amazing. I realized, you know, I won't have a page finish for a while because of how I'm working it, because I'm going the whole length. But once I start hitting those rows with the page numbers, those page numbers are going to be coming thick and fast, which is going to feel very accomplished, especially considering this is a piece with over 100,000 stitches. So that's why I'm trying to get 25,000 stitches a year, which would mean I'd have it finished in 5 years. So that is the goal. What is next on my pile? Okay, this is my new start. So the new start I decided to do for this month is October by the Cricket collection. Here is what it will look. Well, here's the mock-up. This is not how mine will look because I've made a few changes. I've changed the fabric and I am not using, so the word October, according to the chart, is a silken colors, which are like $8 a piece. And I didn't want to spend, you needed 2 skeins. I didn't want to spend that kind of money on floss. I just didn't, especially for a piece that's not, it's one thing to do it in like a Mirabilia. I have no problem doing that because those are up year round. This is not something that will be up and out year round. So I didn't want to really just spend that amount of money for that. And I am doing this on a 40 count. So here is where I am up to. This is 40 count Catacombs by BeStitchMe. It was one of the fabrics of the month. And I changed the letters to DMC 300. I had put onto one of the Facebook groups about, like, did anybody have any suggestions for an alternative? And somebody had done it in this color and I thought it looked great. So I have the O completely done, backstitch and everything, and then starting on the C. So that's where we're up to. And that was another 2,000, where are you, October? 2,154 stitches. So, oh my God, that fold join job is terrible. Put that over there for the moment. Okay, next up is another monthly piece of mine. This is my push for a finish by September, because it's a Halloween piece and I want it done to be able to be up for this Halloween. And it is Halloween Quaker by Lilas Studio. I am doing this using all the called for floss, and then here's what it looked like the last time that you saw it. So all the called for floss, but then I'm doing 40 count Tsumani by BeStitchMe. So here is where I'm up to. Oh, gotta come back. So I worked on, I think, the crows and that cat. So my goal for this is like a little over 1,000 a month, but the way I'm working it is, if I'm in the middle of a motif, I will finish that motif. So some months I've been getting over 1,000. This month I got just under 1,000 at 979 because I finished the motif and there was not like another little motif nearby to get me to that 1,000. And I didn't want to start another big one. So this is coming along very nicely and on track to be finished by September, if not sooner, depending on how the next couple of months roll out with just how I do the motifs. Okay, flying through. Next up, these two are my final 2 pieces actually, and they were my Whip Go calls for this month. So the numbers this month were number 3 and 24, and they would work on my Faces of Faery for 2,000 stitches and my Country Magic Stitch for 2,000 stitches. Both are full coverage. It's all about full coverage this month for me, unintentionally. So first off, let's look at the Heaven and Earth designs. So this is artwork by Jasmine, Becket, Griffith. Here's what she'll look like. This is the White Swan. I have done the companion piece for this. It's finished and wanted to get this one done. I'm stitching this on 16 count Aida just because it's full coverage and I wanted to. Here's what she looks like the last time that you saw her. She's out of the Q snap now. And here is what she looks like now. So this I am actually doing so it's still in the Royal Rose method, but page by page. So I'll do these pages and then come across and do those pages. I think I've got, 2 more, and this is the page if memory serves. There was so much freaking confetti in this section. It took me forever, like it was a battle. And then I didn't even get 2,000 stitches. I think because I go a little rogue at times to still do the Royal Rose method, I just ended up at, 1996. And I wasn't gonna start a whole nother block of 200 to get 4 stitches. It will, it'll happen when it happens. This is actually on my Whip Go again. For this month, it's number 10. So she will come out again this month, only for 1,000 stitches this time. Potentially more if I'm feeling it, but just 1,000 is what's called for. And if I can, sorry people, get this folded semi-nicely to go into the box. Okay, not box, into the project bag that I use. Okay, now I'm very discombobulated today and we're only 10 minutes in, so this is going to be a very quick episode. So my final project that I worked on for the month of February was Visit Narnia by Country Magic Stitch. Here is what it will look like when it's finished. So full coverage. I am doing this on 28 counts, 1/1. This was a test piece for me because I do want to start doing some of my Heaven and Earth designs on 25 count, 1/1, and 28. I had this 28 count in stock in like my stash, so I thought I would give it a try on this, and it's very small. Here's what it looked like the last time that you saw it, and here is what it looks like now. So look how small this is. So this is the full width. It's not even like, so if I do like that, and that's my pointer finger, that's the width of it. Crazy. But I got into the wardrobe part. This was a lot, but it looks great. I'm glad it's there, but it was a lot, especially 1/1. Full cross. I tried tent stitch. This is my attempt at, is it my attempt at tent stitch? Yeah, I tried 2/1 half cross and I just didn't like it. I couldn't find where I was. I kept putting, in the wrong spot, and then because, the cross isn't closed, it just always looked incomplete to me. So I just thought I'll do full cross. Yes, it will take longer, but at least I'll be happier with it, and that's what matters. But this was great to do because it's just lines of color. Again, doing the Royal Rose method, I did go a little rogue, just to finish off the thread, because I'm not a huge fan of hanging threads. It's different, like I'm fine with it on my alternative reality just because of the nature of that piece, but this one, because it was, I was just gonna have a bunch here, it's gonna take me a while to get there. I was like, I may as well just finish off these pieces, and these are only hanging because this is just continuing all the way across. So I'm just going block by block there. But that is Visit Narnia by Country Magic Stitch. I have quite a few Country Magic Stitch pieces. I really quite like them. There's a lot of block color. I think there's only about 15 colors in this piece. So very simple, all DMC, great kind of mindless stitching, as I call it. So that is everything I worked on this month. If that's all you're here for, the updates, thank you for joining me, getting this done in under 15 minutes. If you are here for haul, and I'll give you a little bit of life update. I don't do that often, but I will give you a little bit if you're interested in hearing. Not a lot of haul. So I am part of 2 Fabric of the Month clubs. One of my Fabric of the Month clubs is arriving tonight, but I wanted to get this filmed, so I'll show that next month, I suppose. But I did receive my BeStitchMe Fabric of the Month. This is the 40 count verdal. It's called We Can't Elope. Kind of like a sherbet orange color. No idea what I'll use this for, but into the stash it goes. And then my second, so I think this is the Fabric of the Month from January, from Under the Sea Fabrics. I get a 32 count even weave for that. And this time I got the Josephine, and this is Frigga. Look, that's so beautiful. This has to be, I think, one of my favorites. Would be great for a mermaid, don't you think? So pretty. And my, I think, February Fabric of the Month from Under the Sea is out for delivery as we speak, but my delivery doesn't arrive until like 5 or 6 o'clock, so that wasn't gonna happen. The other haul I did jump onto Soda Stitch and purchase a bunch of the gnome birthstone patterns. I'll throw them up as I'm talking through my plans with those. So I love to stitch. I like to have stuff to stitch, and I like to have finishes. So, but there's only so much that I want in my home. as I'm sure we all understand. So I decided to do these little birthstone gnomes and give them to friends. You know, they're very little. They could probably be done in a weekend. So my plan is to just stitch those and give them to friends. So I've got February, May, June, August, September, and then October for me. And I'll give them to various friends of mine who are born in those months. But other than that, that's all the haul I have. We do have our giveaway winner to announce. So last month, and for my 1,000 subscriber giveaway, I decided that I would give away this fox because I finished it and don't need it in my stash anymore. So I'm happy to pass along the stash. So we had 10 people who had to put the word fox into your comment last month. So that is obviously now closed from last month. 10 people put the comment in. I threw that into a random generator thingy and it pulled out Tara from One Stitch at a Time. So Tara, congratulations. You have won the Fox by Cottage Garden Samplings. If you could shoot me an email, I'll put my email address in the description with your details, and I will get this in the mail and sent out to you. Depending on how quickly you reply. I will try and get to a post office fairly quickly, but I can't make any promises that it would happen straight away, but I would try to get it done as fast as humanly possible on my end. So that is the winner for the giveaway. Thank you to everybody who entered that drawing. I hope to be able to do more of them in the future as things progress. Now let's move on to a little bit of life update. So this month I had a work trip, an event that we did. It was on the Discovery Princess cruise ship. So that's where I was. It was not my first cruise. I did do a cruise for a vacation, so for fun. 2 years ago now, it'll be 2 years this June, and we went to Iceland and Ireland, and that was absolutely amazing. This trip that we did on Discovery Princess, it just went to, its purpose wasn't for vacation. It was a work trip. It was an event that we did. So it wasn't all about the destinations. It was San Diego, and it was out of Los Angeles, went to San Diego and Ensenada. And it made me realize that while as fun as I understand cruising is, I'm into cruising for the destinations more so than I am for the vessel. The vessel is a point away from me to get from A to B. And the fact that it is a nice vessel is a nice addition. But I'm all about the destinations. So for me, it was a work trip. So it's not like you can have the most fun in the world. I'm not prone to seasickness, but I am not prone to seasickness. And one of my colleagues had mentioned that she had done that route like the week or two before, and it was rough and people were not well. So I decided, I'm like, well, I can't be sick on a work trip. So I decided to get that patch, that prescription patch that you can get. If nobody has got that, fair warning with the following things. It like dries you out. There is not enough liquid in the world that you can drink that ever makes you not feel thirsty or not have a dry mouth. It was the oddest thing in the world to experience. And that wasn't just me. I knew other people that were wearing the patch and they said the same thing. It also, I didn't feel great if I had a drink on it. It didn't make me feel sick or nauseous. It just made me feel weird. So as a result, not a lot of drinking happened. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong if you want to drink while on it and feel weird. It's entirely up to you. It's just me. I just didn't like how I feel. But the ship itself was very nice. If you are into cruising, it's a great little introductory cruise because it was only like 4 days. It's a good way to see, is this something I like or not? Because I work in the travel industry and I find it's kind of one or the other. You are or you are not a cruiser. Unless you're like me and you're a cruiser for the destination and the ship is just your vessel getting there. So it's a good way to see, is this something I would like to do? It was not, it wasn't that bad on the rough wise. There was one day that wasn't great, but as long as you can kind of recognize, oh, this is something that I could feel not great, and you take steps to make sure you're not in a place where you're feeling the most movement of the ship, such as I was on like the top floor back of the ship. So I think that's like the most movement you're gonna feel. So I took myself to like the midship low and just kind of did work there so I could, you know, not start to feel nauseous. So that's the way to handle that. It was odd having to like brace myself to shower. And at one point I did have to like just hold on while I was showering, because being that high up and feeling that much movement, it was just, I just felt a little unsteady. So I had to like hold on to shower, which I thought was quite amusing. But the room itself was lovely. I had a balcony, which was amazing to sit out there. It was a little chilly, so I was out there in a bathrobe, but you know, sit out there watching the sunset as we left from Mexico. It was wonderful. And on the last night, the movement of the ship, which was pretty rough. Well, I mean, if you're a real sailor, probably not, but for me, it was pretty rough. But it was rocking in the way that as you're sleeping, it just kind of like rocked you to bed, which was wonderful. It's like being in business class on a plane with a little bit of turbulence, you know, it's just rocks you to bed, which makes you feel like a child. And nice, and like, I feel safe when that happens. It doesn't bother me. As long as it doesn't make me nauseous, that's all I really care about. So that is my life update. It was a great trip. It was a great event. Hopefully we'll be able to do more of them. Not sure if I will do those where it's going on a ship again. May depend on the route and how rough or calm the seas might be. But thank you to everybody who has stuck around and watched my video. I hope you have an amazing March, now that we're in March and the weather is hopefully getting warmer where you are. I'm in kind of central Texas in Fort Worth. So we had like 90 something on like Monday, Tuesday, and then 40 something from Wednesday. So it's been an interesting shorts, sweats situation. I transitioned into my like more summery pajamas, and now I'm regretting that because I'm cold and I have to pile on more blankets. So it's a very confusing time to be in Texas weather-wise. Hopefully it's gonna level out. I don't mind the extreme heat or the extreme cold. I just want kind of it to be consistent in one way or the other, but that's not Texas, as I have learned. But still a great place to live apart from the crazy weather. But thank you everybody again. I hope you have a great day. If you could like and subscribe this video, that would be phenomenal. And we'll see you next time. Bye.